a jazz guitar under 5 minutes. Hey, how's it going? You caught me going classical mode. Was a little Yngwie Malmsteenanini, and I'm here today to talk about picking. And I guess it's kind of weird to be playing classical music and talking about jazz picking, but I think it's really important. Have the really great fortune recently over the last few months to play and hang out with Jimmy Bruno. And when I listen to Jimmy play and I watch him play, I love the way he picks. I am really reminded, it's the Philly style, locked elbow, locked wrist, everything's from the elbow. This style of tremolo picking was something that I put quite a bit of time in, then, get to there. You get through all that stuff with picking like that, and you really develop some power and control with that style of picking. But I really found it very difficult to play jazz that way, and I'll get back to that in a moment. Now, when I was starting out and, I was playing through Dante Violin Caprice, I have a very well-worn copy of this book here, no cover. We all seem to want to come back to the stuff that helped us out in the beginning, right? It's usually some of the best stuff that you get. A couple thoughts about the pick. If you're playing jazz guitar and you don't have any effects, it's pretty much, the pick is the most important thing that you're dealing with, because that's the only thing that's separating you from the guitar. I was using a pretty heavy pick that came with this Westville. It's kind of like a blue chip pick. Thank you, Misaki. It's an awesome pick. I use 3 picks, because even if I'm playing every single day, I never know what's going to feel the best in my hand. This is a 73 Tortex. It's kind of a flexi. I cheat and I kind of like, get it to fit in my thumb. And I'll work on stuff like this, and you can see I lose some sound, but you gain some chops, right? And maybe you start out with a lighter pick to kind of get yourself going. Here's another one, another Tortex. You can see this one's a little fatter. I don't like the little nubby picks. I have a hard time playing those jazz 3s. They just never felt right in my hand, so I always stick with these picks. And I always have about 3 of them just to see what feels the best. Now, the first little line that I played kind of starts on this high B and goes down to this low G, right? So, if you're playing, that kind of Philly style, you kind of have something like that. Now, it's real easy to want to sweep it, and then you kind of, I'm just going in one direction. Whoops, right? Let's try that again. That was a little bit better, right? You can see that's another thing, we all work on, practice and slow. But I'm not going to get too hung up on it because, if you're practicing and you get hung up on every little mistake, you're not going to have the greatest practice session. So I'll try to play, a couple different ways, because when I'm playing jazz, I totally don't play in this style. If I'm playing, some jazz, I'm going to use my left hand a little bit more. Because I think it swings a little bit harder, and that's kind of how, you kind of get those slurs and articulations in, which really doesn't happen when you're, picking every single note and you're doing maybe a specific type of picking. Sweep picking, it's definitely not my forte. I'm not a classical player at all. But these are the things that I like to do to keep my fingers and my hands in shape and everything going together, because, even though this hand's super smart and can get around, and this hand's not super smart and just goes up and down, they have to work together to get maximum output. So, while you're practicing, try a few different disciplines, because not always the same thing works every time. A wise man said 60% of the time it works every time. There's a lot to be said for that. So try a couple different picks, try a few different approaches while you're playing. And while you're out there, keep swinging. Thanks.